Vande Guru Parajantam Bhaktivinoda Swamitam Shri Chaitanya Prabhu Vande Nityananda Saharitam Shri Nandanandana Vande Shri Radhika Charanandram Gopijana Swagita Vrindavana Manoharam Shri Gauranga Nityananda Shri Vaita Chandra Gadadhara Shivasri Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Fast. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. If you make that one fast, but this one slow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Jai Jai Sri Radhe. So, continuing class. Actually, we're calling this a class, that we're attending a class. We have Bhagavad class and Bhagavatam class. But these classes are not really classes. These are more like journeys, expeditions. We're going through, it's not a class because we're going to enter the spiritual world. We're going to enter the kingdom of Krishna, where Krishna's heart lives. Krishna's heart is Vrindavan, and in Leelas with the gopis. This is Krishna's heart. And so we'll hear about Leelas, we'll hear about Sevas in Krishna's Leelas, we'll hear about the loving feelings and exchanges of Radha and Krishna specifically, and also the Sakhis, the Manjaris, how they nourish and expand and the happiness and love of Radha and Krishna. So we're entering a kingdom, we're entering a domain of love, transcendental love, Krishna Prema. So it's not a class about something, it's not a class to teach something, it's an experience of spiritual reality. Like when you go to a movie is not a class. When you go to a theater, you're not going to a class. You say, I'm going to a movie, I'm going to the cinema to have an experience, to experience the plot and the story and the loving exchanges and the fight scene and the love scene and the dancing scene and all the chase scene and bombing and shooting and all this stuff goes out of movies. So we're going to have an experience every day for 1 hour. We're going to have an experience. This is not a class. Did you go to a class? The question is, did you see the movie? Did you identify with Radharani? Or did you identify with Krishna? Or did you identify with the Manjaris or Sakhis? What part of the movie did you like? What part? It's not a class, so we should keep this in mind. This is an experience of transcendental land of love, Vrindavan and Braj Leela, with the gopis of Madhurya Rati. So let's begin. We're continuing with verse 17 from Rasa Nidhi. Ujagaram Rasika Nagara Sangarange Kunjodare Kritavati Nu Moda Rajanya Susnabita Imaraneva Shovita Tvam Radhe Kada Sapishi Madkara Lali Tangri. Radharani, after you blissfully enjoy pastimes throughout the night with your rasic lover Krishna in a kunja, I will bathe you and serve you some sweets. And when you fall asleep, I will massage your lotus feet with my hands. So many things are going on in the sloka. Radha and Krishna are there. They enjoyed loving pastimes in the kunja. The Radharani went home in the morning, Pratak Leela. When we read Leela, we should understand, ask these questions. What questions should we ask? Who, what, when, where, why, how. Who's doing what? Radha and Krishna are enjoying love pastimes. Where? In the Kunja. And how is Krishna described? Is he any kind of person? He's described as a Rasik Nagar. Nagar means a playboy, but he's a playboy with class, with Rasa playboy. With many playboys, Nagar means a playboy. Guy that runs around beautiful girls is called a Nagar. But he's a Rasa Nagar because he's always relishing Ras. So he's staying up all night, he's the Jagran. We heard of Devi Jagran, we heard of Shiv Jagran, Shankar Jagran, Ekasi, Harivasra, Ekasi Jagran. But this is called Nagar Jagran. Nagar Radharani Jagran. Staying up all night making love with Radharani. That's a good Jagran. That's a very high way to pass your time. In the Kunja with Radharani. Staying up all night in the Kunja. So when Radharani gets home, she's hungry and tired. So the Manjaris are there, they take Radharani home in the morning. They give her some sweets, she falls asleep. The Manjari massages her feet. Very sweet experience, very sweet scene for the Nitya Leela. That's what the verse says. So Pichi Madkara means my hand, like we say Karatal. Madkara means my hand, Lalita Angri. Angri means feet, and Lalita means to fondle the feet, to fondle, to caress, to touch, massage in a very loving way, very loving, tender way. Because these feet of Radharani are hungry, are called Lalita, that the Manjaris are holding in her hand in a special way, with great love and appreciation for Radharani's feet, and massaging them very specially. The word Lalita means to fondle, to caress, to touch lovingly. So when the Manjaris touch Radharani's feet or massage Radharani's feet, it sounds like a power, deep muscle, power massage. You know, you get massages nowadays, they break your arms and legs, they massage you so heavily. It's called power massage. They grab your muscle and squeeze it. It's not like gentle, like a mother massaging her baby. She's not having a wrestling match with her baby, you know. She just fondling, just petting him nicely. So the Manjari is special massage. So after Radharani and Krishna enjoy their Jagran, Kunja Jagran, and the Rati Kali Leela and the Kunja Jagran, Rasik Nagar, and Rasika Nagari Radharani, Rasik Nagar Sangha Range. So it means associated with a playful girl, staying up all night with a playful girl, an intimate association in the Kunj. This is Krishna. The Manjaris stay all up all night, fanning and giving water and betel nut pan, and she's busy. She's also tired. So after she brings Radharani home and bathes her, then she'll fall asleep also. Heavily fall asleep. So a maidservant speaks sweetly about Krishna as she brings Radharani home. So the Sakis, they decorate Radharani while speaking. When she wakes up, they decorate Radharani and talk about Krishna, and then prepare something for Radharani to eat. Srimati Radharani, Srimati's dressing and ornament decoration are done, and her seconds and maids shall serve some sweets. Maid servants know that Jai Sri Radharani does not eat anything else but Krishna's remnants. So they mix some of Krishna's Adara Amrita in the sweets that she eats. That's why it's called Madanaiva Subhojita. Bhojita means enjoyment, and Su means good enjoyment. So what distinguishes Bhojan from Subhojan? Bhojan means enjoying. You ever see Krishna Bhojanalaya? What is Bhojanalaya? It means the name of a restaurant. Kanakabo, food, restaurant, Bhojanalaya, Sanskrit Vidyalaya, that's where you go and sleep. When you try to learn Sanskrit. Vidyalaya, house of knowledge, Bhojanalaya, house of enjoyment, eating. Pralaya, means your house gets destroyed. So Subhojita, what makes Bhojita into Subhojita? When you sit with a girl named Sue, Susan Ferrari, and you eat prasad or subhojan. The subhojan becomes good when it's mixed with madhu. Madhu means nectar, madhu means Madhusudan, Madhusudan means Krishna. So when bhog is mixed with Krishna's remnants, it becomes madhu subhojana. So that's why Saraswati Pada describes what Radharani eats. Radharani doesn't eat bhojan, she doesn't eat subhojan, she's madhu subhojita. Madhu subhojita. Madhu means sweet, it's honey sweet from the Adara Amrita, from the sweet lips of Krishna. It makes it so honey-like, so relishable, so ecstatic. Have you ever eaten Jagannath Mahaprasad? That's Adara Amrita to the maximum. When you eat Jagannath Mahaprasad, guaranteed, otherwise you can return and get your money back. Guaranteed your hair will stand on end. Thrill bumps will appear on your arms and legs, fingers also. You'll perspire, you'll cry, you'll tremble, just by smelling Jagannath Mahaprasad. Jagannath Mahaprasad ki Jai! Jai Jagannath. So, when Radharani eats Madhu Subhojita, the sweet remnants of Krishna's Adara Amrita, she tastes Krishna's lips with every bite. Be a nice advertisement for a candy bar. You taste every bite you'll taste Krishna's lips. Okay, I'll buy it. Gotta advertise different ways to get people to buy it. So you buy this Mahaprasad, you'll taste Krishna's lips with every bite. Madhu Subhojita. Okay. After Radharani eats this honey sweet meal, she washes her mouth and then goes to sleep. Like any good bhakta. After they eat chak milk, then they go to sleep. We'll have a demonstration by a member of the audience. Srimati is an Ujagaran. Srimati did Jagaran. Radharani did Krishna Jagaran. On Purnima. Under the full moon night, she stayed up all night in the kunja, talking and romancing with Krishna. They were making jokes and talking funny romantic stuff. While lying on a bed of flowers. Shamasunder rested his head on a flower pillow. The Radharani rests her head on Krishna's left arm. That was her pillow. They lay facing each other, speaking funny romantic words to each other. Like this. So the hearts and minds floated in all directions on waves of love nectar. That's a good way to float. Floating, not in salt water. Floating, not in the swimming pool. Floating on waves of love nectar. And their sucky friend, Nidra Lika, did not have any chance to serve them that night. That's a nice way of saying they didn't sleep. Can any of you say the same thing? No. This Nidra Devi, you guys sleep every night with Nidra Devi. Brahmachari Baba, that's not good. Nidra Devi, Nidra Devi caresses you every night, makes you go deep into sleep. You wake up and say, Nidra Devi, get out of here. I had enough of you. I spent the whole night with you, now get out, go home. Bye. So I'll be back tonight. Oh no. Nidra Devi. Once there's a story about Nidra Devi. She was born 42 years ago. No. Nidra Devi, you know the story? Krishna was giving all the devatas and devis were manifest. And then Nidra Devi said, listen, you've given a planet to Indra, you gave a planet to Brahma, you gave a planet to Varuna, Agni Devi, Shiva, everybody has a planet. And they have a house and they have a home. All the devatas and devis, they can sleep in the night and the day. Well, I'm Nidra Devi, you only allow me to sleep at night. With human beings, you say I can stay with human beings, but they always sleep at night. In the daytime they're running around, you know, teaching Russian to English and English to people, or taking care of babies and stuff, and all that good stuff. They're busy working, so where am I going to sleep in the daytime? So Krishna was bewildered, because all the humans are awake all day. And I'll tell you what, Nidra Devi, I'll give you one good place. You can find this sleeping place anywhere around the world, anywhere around the Earth planet, where people are giving Bhagavatam class. Where Bhagavatam class is being spoken, surely you'll find some people that are sleeping. And you can go and sleep inside those human beings who are sleeping in Bhagavatam class. So maybe some of you lucky kids have been the happy abode of Nidra Devi in Bhagavatam class. There's a true story from Purans. It's from Nidhi Puran. No, I heard this story. It's a fact also. I dare anyone to go to a baritone class and find someone who's not sleeping. Sometimes the speaker's even sleeping. Because in the old days when Prabhupada was here, Prabhupada would give class, he would close his eyes a lot of times. So the disciples of Prabhupada, they thought that when you gave class, you're supposed to close your eyes. So they gave in 1966, 67, 68, 69, many years, devotees gave class with their eyes closed. So the devotees in the class would say, well, whatever a great man does, the common man follows in his footsteps. The Gita says, Yad Yadacharati Shrestat Tattalivi Tarojana Sriyat Pramanam Kurute Lokastatanavartate. So you're speaking, you're the Bhagavad Kata Vachak, you're speaking Kata, and you have your eyes closed, you're sleeping, so we're going to follow you too. So everybody else will close their eyes. And the speaker starts sleeping on the opposite side. Everybody starts sleeping in the room. So they passed a law, at least the speaker has to keep his eyes open. The CBC resolution 10,917. 10,917th resolution. Bhagavad speaker must keep eyes open for 45 minutes at least. Shivataki. I see with my own eyes he was sleeping in Bhagavatam. You never saw?
I saw.
I think we saw you too. You were one of the ones you saw. You saw in a playback film of the class. Hey, that's me sleeping. There's sometimes movies of Prabhupada giving class, and there's one guy who was standing behind the Vyasa sign while Prabhupada was giving class. So he was guarding Prabhupada. He had the idea of guarding. So if the camera is on Prabhupada, Prabhupada's sitting straight, speaking like a lion. And the guy standing by, every 5 seconds, he starts falling like towards the Vyasa side. He goes like this, then he goes like this. Everybody's watching the film, nobody's looking at Prabhupada. So, look at this guy in the film. He's gonna fall asleep. He's gonna fall in front of us. For 45 minutes, every 5 seconds he's going. And everybody knew who that was. So he became so famous. And people would say, I see you somewhere before. And he said, at a Bhagavatam class in Prabhupada in L.A. Yeah, that's you. That was you. Yes, you. You stupid. He became all world famous for falling asleep in Prabhupada's Bhagavatam class. He said, he started going down and go, oh funny. Can't forget that. Funny, see, I'm glad I wasn't. There's some pictures of classes in LA. I'm in the class, so I can see myself, but I'm not sleeping. Because the temple president passed the rule, if anybody sleeps, they're going to get their face sprayed with water. So he had a sprayer with water, that like your water tulsi leaves, you spray, plant sprayer. And it was like holy, It would go about 5 meters. Yeah, about 5 meters would shoot across. So each temple president would sit there. I remember seeing a sheet of water go by my vein and hit the guy next to me. And he's all water, he wakes up. And everybody knew the guy had this thing with Sylvia Falls. So he goes, it was really funny. You ever saw it? Italy, no?
Italy, no, here in India they do.
In India they do it. This kind. Russian ashram. Oh, that's fun. The old widows.
Hey.
Oh, that's funny. The widows ashram, they train widows and they fall asleep in class. That's so cute. 85-year-old lady nodding out and fishing. That's really funny. So all these are going to get squirt gun in their face. So Nidhi Devi doesn't have any seva in Kunjalila. Poor thing. So when Radharani goes home, the maidservants remind the Sakhis, and maidservant says to Radharani, "Hey Swamini, you stayed up all night, so now you should go sleep a little bit." Hearing this from the Manjaris, all the Sakhis praised this Kinkari, saying, "Oh Kinkari, you know how to serve very nicely. We completely forgot that Radharani should take some rest." "Yes, Sakhi, go take a little rest." So just see how intimate the Manjaris are, because the Sakhis are just laughing and joking about Krishna with Radharani, talking about our Ratikeli Leelas the night before in the Kunja. The Manjaris saying, "Radharani, you should take rest, stop all this. Tomorrow's another day of Leelas, so you'll be too tired." So maidservant says, the maidservant takes Radharani by the hand, holds Radharani's hand, and takes her to a flower bed. So just think that you're that Manjari, and you tell Radharani, "I think you should take some rest now." Then Lita says, "Oh yes, you're right, Manjari. Okay, Kinkari, do good seva." So you take Radharani by the hand and take her to a flower bed. Very nice idea. So the maidservant covers Radharani, like tucks her in bed, like the mother tucks her baby in bed, and kisses her forehead. "Good night, baby. Good night." And so, what color chadar does she put on Radharani? Blue color, to remind her of Krishna. Then, to help Radharani get a relaxing sleep, after the Manjari drapes the blue chadar over Radharani's divine form, she goes to her feet and starts massaging Radharani's feet. The maidservant places all the tenderness of her heart in her hands, so the massage will be smooth and affectionate. Lalana means affectionate service. This maidservant, this Kinkari Manjari, is blessed with the service of massaging Radharani's feet. So while she's massaging the feet, the Manjari sometimes holds Radharani's lotus feet to her chest, and sometimes she kisses the feet of Radharani. There's no limit to the bliss of the Manjari. Jai Ho. Manjari Seva Ki Jai Ho. Manjari Intimacy with Radharani Ki Jai Ho. So this is verse number 17 of Rasa Nidhi. I'll read another translation of this verse from my godbrother Dasara Sutta, who's a very poetical type writing, musician, poet type person himself. He titled this verse, Serving the Mood of Radha's Manjaris. Radharani stays awake in the sportive, blissful company of the topmost artistic lovemaker. So the translation of Rasik Nagar is topmost artistic lovemaker. He's very poetical translation, very nice. He's a musician also. He's a very nice advanced devotee, deep into this Manjari Tattva. After giving Radharani a nice bath, because it says Su Snapita. Everything about Radharani is Su. Su Madhyama. Madhyama means waist, but it means middle, thin middle. But Su Madhyama means very thin. And Su Snapita means bath, snan, nice bath. And Bojan, not just Bojan, Su Bojita. Her Bojan, Radharani's Bojan, is mixed with Krishna's Adharamamrita. Madan with Madhu Su Bojita. Like we say, Radharani is Saubhagya. Fortunate, very fortunate. So after a Su Snan, a nice bath, she's fed a nice breakfast of sweets. Subhojita. O Radharani, when will you fall asleep with your feet gently fondled by my own hands? Matkara. Matkara Lalita Angu. Oh, this is out finished. I think you have to send me this track, audio of this track. My battery went dead. So I'm not going to just leave it. So this is August 7th. August 7th audio track you have to send to me. Maybe Saki can do it. You can do it. So, verse 17. So this is a nice translation by Dasara Sutta. Now we'll go on to another verse. That's a beautiful Leela. You can see this whole Leela as Radharani made love with Krishna in the Kunja. The whole Leela was orchestrated and performed by the Manjari. The Manjari took Radharani home. The Manjari made sure Radharani got something to eat. The Manjari personally tucked Radharani in bed, and Manjari massaged her feet. So the main star of this Leela experience was the main actress, the main Viva Prema Ashraya is Radharani. And the second performer, second devotee was Prema Ashraya Manjari serving Radharani. The next verse is verse number 20. Verse 20 is about Avisar. Let's go too fast, make too much noise. That one you can slow down. This was already slow. Yeah, that is too crazy. It's too light. This is text 20, and this verse, Rasa Nidhi, Prabodhananda Sarawati describes Radharani as an Abhisarika Nayak, a lady going out to meet her lover, love journey, going for a love trial. Shri Radhike Suratarangi Hitamba Bhage Kanchi Kalapakal Hamsa Kala Nulape. Manjira Sanchita Madhu Vratagunchi Tangri Pe Pankeruhe Shishiraya Swarasa Chatavi. Radhika. So this describes what is the Udipan, Vibhav, the stimulating factors of Madhurati that are part of Radharani's body as she goes out for Abhisar, love journey. So Prabodhananda Sarawati glorifies Radharani's sweet form. O Shri Radhike, your waist bells resting on your playful erotic hips warble like swans, and the ankle bells on your feet buzz like bees. Please cool me off with the splendor of your ras. Shishiraya. The winter season in Hindi is called Shishir. Shishir means cold time. Sito painball. The Shishir means cold. Shishir Mosam. So it's interesting, this is often told. We say Ma Ganga. We say Ma Ganga because Mother Ganga is compared to a mother. A mother is compassionate with all her children. Some children are misbehaved. They're bad boys. And some are good. But mother feeds them all equally, treats them all equally. So Mother Ganga is called Mother because she treats everyone equally. So Mother Ganga flows in heaven. The heavenly planets are the place of the Sura, S-U-R-A, means Sura Loka. So the Ganga that flows in heaven, the Ganga River flows in heaven to bless the devatas, all the devotees of Krishna in the heavenly planets. It's called Surata Tarangani. Taranga means waves, waves in the river. And the Ganga also flows in hell. So the Ganga flows where the Suras are, and the Ganga flows where the Asuras are. In the top of the universe is the Suras. In the bottom of the universe is the Asuras. They're at Patala. So there's a Patala Ganga. When Krishna created Shamakund, he called the Patala Ganga came here. The Suratarangani Ganga came here, and Patala Ganga came here. So Patala means the hellish planet. So there's Patala Ganga and Surata Ganga. So Radharani, her love journey is compared to the Ganga. So the Ganga is flowing very fast and very forcefully. So Radharani is her love journey, her avisar, she's running very fast and very forcefully running to meet Krishna. So it says Sri Radhe Suratarangani. But Surata means river Ganga, but Surata means erotic lovemaking. Means man, woman, in this case, Krishna and Radharani, erotic love sports is called Surata. So Radharani is going to engage in erotic love sports, forceful and flowing. And what is one of the main ingredients in this love sporting? Nitamba Bhage. Nitamba means butt. It also means hips. So it's a difficult word to translate. Because when there's erotic lovemaking going on, the nitamba is pretty active. The hips and backside. So these are all put together in this Rasa Nidhi. Radhika Surataranga Nitamba Bhage. Bhage means very beautiful, very fortunate, very beautiful, very opulent, very beautiful. Hips and backside. In French they say derriere. Derriere. What do you say in Italian? No name? Okay. Anyway, so that's why that's the first sentence. It describes the cause. So now, when these parts of Radharani's body, they're ornamented with waist bells. Waist bells are not around the waist. Waist bells are around the hips. You ever see girls from Rajasthan? They wear waist bells. They're hanging off their hips. They're very low. They're not, the waist is a belly button. But the waist bells are way down, pulled way down the hips. They rest on top of the butt. So that's why it says in the second sentence, it describes her waist bells. Kanchi Kalaba Kala, beautiful Sanskrit. Kanchi Kalaba Kalahamsa Kalanulape. Ka. Kanchi Kalapa Kalahamsa Kalanulape. Very beautiful. Her waist bells are constantly ringing like the cooing of swans. Manjira Sanjita Madhavrata Gunji. Her ankle bells are ringing sweetly like honey bees. And who's going mad from all sound can make you mad. Like if a lady sings a high-pitched song, she can crack glass. Window pane can crack from a high sound. Crack. So when these waist bells and ankle bells ring and jingle and sing, Krishna's mind becomes cracked. He becomes crazy. So these are all udipans, stimulants for Madhurati. That's the idea. So Manjari here is glorifying these udipan, these stimulants for Rasa that decorate Radharani's beautiful body, her beautiful erotic hips, and her waist bells and ankle bells are all elements which enhance and expand Krishna's happiness and love. So all these are jingling and ringing as Radharani runs down the footpath to meet Krishna. So let's look at the commentary by Raghunatha Das Babaji. The Manjari makes sure Radharani is dressed and ornamented properly. Why is the Manjari dressing Radharani? Why is the Manjari putting ornaments on Radharani? What's the answer?
So that she will be very beautiful to please Krishna.
No. She's already beautiful without ornaments.
Many things.
Krishna doesn't care about ornaments and dress anyway. When Radharani comes in, the first thing he does is take them all off. So if he liked the ornaments and dress so much, he wouldn't take them off in 5 seconds. You don't know. Just say that.
I don't know.
That finally became honest. The Manjari dresses and ornaments Radharani. The Manjari puts the earrings on, Manjari puts the kajal on, Manjari puts the lipstick on, Manjari puts the nose ring on, Manjari puts the collar on, choker, puts the armlets on, puts the bracelets on, puts the rings on, puts the waistcoat on. Because if Radharani does it, she'll forget. She'll put one earring, no nose ring. You replied? What kind of airline is that? Swan Airline. Okay. So she would dress very nicely. Everything would be upside down. Radharani would put her waist bells on her neck and her necklace on her ankles. And she would smear kajal on the bottom of her feet and put lacti on her eyes. Lacti is a red color on the bottom of the lady's foot. So she put red up here, bright red. Looking like she's drunk. Her lacti from the bottom of her feet would be on her eyelids. Very strange. Krishna would get frightened. Run away. Ah! What's this? That's what it says. However, Krishna is playing sweetly on his flute, calling Radharani for Abhisar. So how long can Radharani stay patient while Krishna is calling her? Radharani says, "Oh Saki, the sound of Krishna's flute is is forcing itself into my ears. It's making my shyness melt. And the hairs of my body are staying on end. As Radharani speaks, her voice gets choked up. She becomes unsteady out of desire to see Krishna. The Kinkari says, "O Radhika, no one else can worship Krishna like you. So go run to Krishna and fulfill the desires of Krishna." It will be difficult for you to walk very fast with your heavy hips, but I will walk next to you and support you as you run down the footpath. When Krishna hears your waist bells jingling on your beautiful ditamba, he will become very excited. Watch out, Krishna. The maidservant says, what does the maidservant say? We'll have to find out tomorrow. It's a cliffhanger. It's suspense. We'll find out tomorrow what the maidservant said to Radharani as she's running down the footpath with her waist belt jingling and her hips shaking and her mind reeling and her hair standing on end. Jai Jai Sri Radhe.